Hi, everyone. It's Carmen Danisco. We are coming live to you from the UIA Workshop Series. This is number 6. We got a great show for you today. We are live on YouTube. Please go on out, subscribe to the show. Let us know how we're doing. Also, go on out to the UIA and subscribe to the UIA. Do ahead, UIAUSA.org. Let me bring on my co-host, Mr. Warren Tuttle. Warren, how's it going, my friend?
Hey, Carmine, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. This is just flying by. This is show number 6. It's crazy.
I know. We're already 6 in a 10-week series. Last week, we had some great pitch panels operating with the hardware show, the National Hardware Show. So last week was Hardware Week. Next week, for those who are tuning in, we're going to do a housewares pitch panel. But this week, which is the main feature, is our toy pitch panel. And so, Carmine, I don't know if you have other opening remarks, but I'd be happy to introduce our panelists and get started if you like.
No, nobody wants to hear from me, man. You got a great show today, so go right ahead.
Cool. So we have a lot going on today. So the UIA, one of the things we do when we go to trade shows, and usually we're there in person, is we organize pitch panels, and it gives inventors a chance to practice their pitch, in essence. And usually they do it live and people are watching and so forth. So it's a little bit different to do it virtually. But we're picking up the same spirit of it. And we have 2 amazing toy experts on today that I want to introduce them and have them say just a couple things about themselves and what's going on. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mary Couzin. Mary, hi, how are you?
Hello, and thank you for having me. This is really exciting.
Well, Mary is a superstar in the toy industry and is the creator of the Chicago Toy and Game Fair, which I will let you speak to and what's coming up there. And has been doing so many things for inventors over the years. But Mary, just give us a brief synopsis of what's happening these days.
My pleasure. Thank you. So I started as an inventor, and knowing how hard it is to be an inventor, I was actually in all of your shoes at one point, and I did all the things you're not supposed to do, mortgaged my house, to start anyway. So I tried to help. Over time, I started helping other inventors and have always believed that telling the inventor story would help promote play. So we started the fair, then we started some inventor conferences, and then we started an awards program, the Toy and Game Inventor of the Year Awards program, to help get the inventors out there. It's like Tim Walsh says, you sell 1,000 songs, million songs, you're on a cover of Rolling Stone, 1 million books, the New York bestseller list, you sell 100 million Jengas and nobody knows who you are. So that's what we do. We promote inventors, we tell their stories, we help them get licensed or at least learn about the industry. And this is my tribe and I love this group.
Well, and you do a great job. And I know this year, obviously with COVID, things aren't normal, but are there any dates or anything that you want to just give a shout out to that people should be aware of?
Oh, thank you. Yes. So November 16th through the 20th are our inventor events. We have the most comprehensive content we've ever had because that is the one thing going virtual allows you to do. We have more presidents speaking than the U.S. has had since 1776. We have almost 200 speakers and not controversial as anyway, we won't go there. So, and we have pitching and we have our TAG awards, which we decided to film them like a TV show. In fact, we're pitching them to Amazon. We're very excited about that. There's stunts. It's a lot of fun. And we have a Pop's Got Talent, a talent show for not only our toy and game inventors creative, they've got a lot of talents like talking backwards, whipping fire whips, magic. It's like, this is a fun group. Like, welcome to this very fun community.
Well, thanks so much. And thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. So I want to introduce another superstar, Matt Nuccio. Matt's a good friend and also a board member of the UIA, very, very involved in the toy industry and one of the top toy designers in the country. So Matt, just fill us in a little bit about yourself and what's going on these days.
I think you just said it all right there. No, we're busy. Toys and games are up right now. So we're busy churning out probably more games than we've in the last 6 months than we've done in the last 3 years. We're a product development company. We specialize in toys. We're 30 years old. Been nominated for and won numerous awards, including the prestigious TAGI. This year, we're nominated for 2, actually. And I, through developing toys and licensing toys, I got involved with the UIA, where to sort of give back, and then I got involved in Mary's board as well. And it's pretty much, very much in a pay it forward sort of a situation where, we've had some success. If I can help some inventors get to the next level and avoid the pitfalls, I will.
Well, that's great, Matt. And you do give a lot of your time and effort, and we very much appreciate it. So, all right, so let's get down to business. We have 7 people, inventors, toy creative inventors today, who are going to pitch their products. So for everybody in the audience listening, basically the format is as follows. Each person will get 4 minutes to pitch their product. And that means they've got to get all their major selling features out. And in some cases, some of them will even have videos to support it, but that all has to be done in 4 minutes. I will be the taskmaster and make sure they stick to their pitch, because one of the learning experiences here is for everyone to learn how to do a pitch in a fixed amount of time. And then Mary and Matt will, as experts, will have 3 minutes to reply and give them information and feedback. Now, before we get started, if people have additional questions or information, my email is www.tuttle@yahoo.com. That's www.tuttle@yahoo.com. Kathy Kirix is Kathy@UIAUSA.org. Kathy@UIAUSA.org. So if along the way you don't have a question answered, or you want to learn more, or anybody wants to get in touch with any of these folks, shoot us an email and we will get the information back to you. We will get you in touch with Mary or Matt or whoever you'd like it to go to. So without further ado, our first inventor today is Larry Ashlock. And Larry has a product called Tic-Tac Match. Larry, are you ready to get started?
Yes, sir. And I believe I have a video that I sent to Kathy.
All right, well, let's
Tic-Tac Match is a wildly unpredictable card game variation of the classic game Tic-Tac-Toe. Players compete to match 3 cards in a row of both the same symbol and the same color by covering cards already in play. But don't be fooled by the simple rules. Action cards interject deep strategies, which guarantees a winner every time. Players can flip sides mid-game, wipe out their opponent's hand, or play 2 cards on a single turn. There's even a team play version for 4 players. Tic-Tac Match, not just funner.
It's way funner.
All right. So Larry, you're on.
Very good. We all know tic-tac-toe is an awful game, if you could even call it a game. There's very little, if any, strategy, and each game usually ends in a tie. So today I'm going to introduce you to Tic-Tac Match, which we believe is a way funner way to play tic-tac-toe. It's for ages 7 and up, 2 or 4 players, and it lasts for 5 to 10 minutes. We believe it's the perfect variation of the classic game tic-tac-toe. The familiar elements means that you already know how to play, at least you think you do. And we've added action cards that add wild unpredictability so that no 2 games are exactly alike, and the game can end at any moment. It's the perfect balance between luck and skill. The object, as in regular tic-tac-toe, is to complete a row of 3 cards of the same symbol and the same color, but they must be of the same color. So we've developed a unique matching feature. And basically what the matching feature is, you can replace a symbol card by matching the symbol or the color. So for example, a green X can replace a green O, or a red X can replace a blue X, as long as it's an X. So you match the symbol, match the color, change it, and make it 3 in a row. Now, Kathy, I had some slides. I don't know if you got those or not. Maybe not. So by matching, you can lay on top of cards that are already played, and there's a winner every time. Now, to make it even more unpredictable, we have actually added several action cards. One of them is called a flip card, which allows you to change sides in the middle of the game. So by laying down a flip card, you can change sides. So if you're playing for X's, you don't want to be X's, you lay a flip card, you change from X to O. That applies to each player on each team. So you automatically change sides for every player, which really adds a lot of fun to it. We've got a double play card, which allows you to play 2 turns on a single play. And it's a very effective card because you can stockpile that with a flip card. So you could actually lay a double play, change the sides, and lay down the winning card and basically end the game on 1 turn. We also have a wipeout card, which allows you to wipe out your opponent's hand. And by wiping them out, they get to keep their turn. So when played in combination with the team play, a wipeout card can actually be used to skip a player. So you wipe out a player, they get to keep their turn. It may benefit them, it may not. And we believe that we've come up with a new way to play tic-tac-toe that's very exciting. Now, this year has been very good for tic-tac-match.
Hey, Larry.
Is that it?
That's it. Perfect ending.
Perfect.
Way. All right. Mary and Matt, I'll let you guys choose who goes first.
Sure. I got a quick question. How long is a typical gameplay?
It's about 5 to 10 minutes. It can be longer if you've got skilled players and there's quite a bit of moves, but it's more of a filler game. But we've had games that last anywhere from 1 or 2 turns up to maybe 20 minutes, depending on the gameplay and experience of the players.
Have you done any production on this game, or you just have prototypes?
No, actually, I do have a patent pending, and the logo has been trademarked. We have put it up for sale on GameCrafter. It was available as of June 10th, and we've sold about 550 copies just since then.
That's impressive.
And we did receive the Game of the Year award from the Child Creative Catalog. And last week, we were awarded the seal of approval by Imagination Gaming from the United Kingdom, from their Family and Education Game Awards.
So is your goal to take this to market yourself, or do you want to license it, or?
Well, I'm kind of in between. I need to ramp up to be able to make production myself, but I'm open to a licensing agreement for sure. I did do a Mojo pitch event earlier this year in September, which had quite a few big toy companies. Yeah, and so I have gotten some feedback from there and some interest. So I'm excited about the prospect of licensing it.
Mary, you want to ask a couple questions?
Yeah, I'm looking at your website. I don't see the age. I mean, I'm guessing it's like 8 and up or 6 and up. But what are the ages you list on the game?
It should be 7 and up.
7 and up. Okay.
Now we did experiment with all sorts of variations, and if you play the game without the double play and without the wipeout card, you can play as low as like 5 or 6. Because the younger kids, they understand matching, they understand changing sides, but when you get in a double play and all the other little nuances of strategy, for younger kids it can be difficult. But with modifications, you can go down to like probably kindergarten.
How many cards are in the deck?
There's 64 cards in the deck. So you have 6 of each symbol in each color, and then you have 4 of each of the special cards.
What's the price point?
The price point now is about, retail on GameCrafter is $15.99. But if you buy wholesale directly from me, it goes down lower than that. I think I got it for about $8 a piece.
Okay. Hey, Mary, I'll let you finish up because we're getting to the end of the 3 minutes. I'll let you finish up with whatever comments you'd like.
When you say you don't mean you're selling it wholesale to anybody who orders it from you. You mean just to retailers, right?
Yes, right. So if someone wanted to buy it and resell it, it's currently $8 for a retailer. Yeah.
And you're selling it through retailers right now, or you're just selling it straight to direct to consumers?
Just direct to consumer on GameCrafter, but I'm trying to get some local shops to take it on for Christmas maybe, or eBay or something.
You might want to consider joining Astra. They have a very large list of retailers, distributors, and reps, and it's inexpensive to join their group, their association. So that's, I mean, their lists are probably the best in our industry.
It's ASTRA.
ASTRA, the American Specialty Retailer Association.
Toy
Oh, okay. Toy retailer. Okay, I'll look that up. Thank you. Now,
right.
I do have a provisional patent.
Larry.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I hate to be the bad guy, but as you can see, we have other folks too, and on timeline. So that sort of concludes this. Larry, if you have other questions, email us. We'll get you in touch with the right people. Okay, but good job.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. Nice game.
Thanks.
It is.
Cool. All right. Our second inventor is Leslie Miller. Hi, Leslie. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing just great. Are
Good.
you ready to go? You have a product called Tootie, right? Is that the?
I have a Tootie. I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful to be able to be here with everybody today and get some feedback from the best in the business. So, yeah. Could I lay just a little bit of pavement before you roll the video?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
You have 4 minutes. It's up to you how you use it. Yep. Go ahead.
My education and background is in occupational therapy. So I am very familiar with utilizing breathing techniques to help people to decrease anxiety and stress. And I have 4 beautiful grandchildren, and one of these wonderful child has had a lot of trouble with self-regulation. And I had the opportunity to witness one of these level 5 tantrums during a family get-together. And as everybody kind of ran for cover, I had a light bulb moment and thought we could really help her a lot if we could get her to breathe. And it would help the rest of us too. So I started working on trying to develop a tool that could be used to help teach children holistic, intrinsic coping skills that hopefully will last a lifetime. And the main objective to that would be to make it fun and engaging for a child, or we would have a difficult time getting them to use it. So the device that you see in the video is the 7th iteration of this product, and we're tickled with it. And we had one comment during our initial phase of testing where a parent told us that she had a child that really struggled with nightmares and ended up in bed with her parents on a frequent basis. And now she keeps her Tootie next to her on the nightstand, and when she wakes up, she's able to use it and go back to sleep in her own bed, which I think is huge. So if you want to go ahead and roll the video.
Let's run the video. Yeah, let's run the video so that we don't lose her time.
You try to prepare for everything. The one thing you can't plan for? The moment of meltdown. The aisle 2 temper tantrum. The cafe conniption fit. The bedtime breakdown. Little people with big tempers are challenging. Tootie combines medical science with play therapy for a fun, soothing way to calm life's stormy moments. Tootie engages children's minds and bodies to manage tantrum-inducing anxiety and frustration. Using deep breathing, sensory input, and positive diversion, children learn how to self-regulate their emotional reactions. The spinning leads to grinning design feature prompts therapeutic breaths that transform the sun from smirk to smile. The companion storybook brings Tootie to life by reinforcing the power of positive behavioral choices. Temper tantrums are a normal part of life. Feeling powerless and dealing with them shouldn't be. With Tootie, kids can breathe easier, and parents can too.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's cute. I was giving my kids cigarettes. This is a much better alternative.
I was thinking I could use one of those.
I bet a lot of adults have said the same thing. In fact, I made one for a friend that was a very nervous on an airplane, and she did have some success with managing her anxiety.
Well, very good. Are you good? Mary, why don't you go first this time?
Hi, Mary.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You too.
So no, there's no website, right? Like you
No.
okay, all right. And so have you been selling already? I missed that. I didn't see that.
No, no, we're really at this point. This is a really good time, I think, to get something out there. My ideal situation would be to try and partner with a company that already has established, you know, presence in the toy space. However, we're willing to do whatever it takes, and if we need to, we'll tool up and get it out there ourselves.
Right. And have you also, not just the toy space, have you looked at organizations like Lecotech and others?
Somewhat, yeah, a little bit. I think that the confusing part for me with this is I'm not sure whether we have a toy with a book or a book with a toy, and exactly where our target market
that is always a difficult area.
Yeah.
And in fact, not all inventors, but oftentimes when inventors come to me they have the combination of the two, I usually try to advise them to separate them, because it does create an issue when it comes to retail of where it goes. And more often than not, if two buyers, if neither of them are incredibly in love with it, but they might say, forget it, I don't want to step on the other buyer's feet, and then neither of them take it, and it doesn't end up at retail. It's unfortunately a common story. But I mean, I would be searching around to see like what other companies are deep into like that, the emotional toys. I mean, that's a big market right now, all that sort of stuff, and big and educational. So you're definitely onto something. And if you've got any research that promotes it, or I think you could get some placement. But I would focus more on the product than the book.
Okay, that's good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I would check into organizations not like Astra, but like the JMPA, and I think that's what it was. That Matt, Juvenile Products something.
I'm dyslexic. I'll just flip all those letters around. The YMCA.
So they probably have some good resources for you. They have a big show. I'm sure they had to go virtual this year as well, but they should have a lot of resources that can help you. Yeah, and also if you contact Lecotech, they should be able to send you somewhere too. They're nationwide, and we've worked with them at our show before because we have a big special needs program at our show. So, yeah, and Matt's right. This is really needed right now. So you're right on target there.
It's incredibly well, as an older person now that's had a lifetime of anxiety. I wish seriously this was around when I was a kid, and obviously it's a great alternative, a natural way to avoid some of Ritalin, some of the other things that are going on. But I just read a report recently in the last week that the amount of stress that are on children for staying at home now during COVID.
Absolutely.
It's slightly less than the parents.
Right.
Well, they're just having a hard time learning and staying focused and all that. So.
Yeah, but if you're having trouble finding a licensor and you want to do it yourself, contact me. I can certainly help you.
Okay, that would be great. I'll do that. Yeah.
Cool. Hey, great job, Leslie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you kindly. Well done. All right, this is going great. So far, so good. Two excellent ones. So now we're Stephen Kaplan. Stephen has a product called Amazing Bingo. Are you ready to go, Stephen?
I totally am.
All right.
100%.
You're on. You got the next 4 minutes, brother. Thank you.
Okay, you're going to open with a video. There it is.
Great.
Amazing bingo strategy board game. A new maze coming, anyone can play. Amazing bingo strategy board game. Slap dice, vortex maze like game board. Amazing bingo strategy board game. Get your number before the bell rings.
Cool.
Hi, and thank you so much to the UIA for giving me this opportunity to pitch to both Matt and Mary, and for whatever feedback I'll be able to get from you. I'd like to preface this by letting you know that this game has a long history. It began with the brilliant concept, but a flawed execution. I spent too much time trying to sell the concept with a less than perfect game, and as a result, it suffered for that. During this year, I decided to go back to the drawing board and rebuild the game from the ground up, eliminating the flaws and the clunky parts, resulting in a perfect flow of gameplay. That is what I'm here to pitch. It began with the simple concept. What if players could actually go after the numbers they need for bingo? Unlike every variation of bingo before, this one did not rely on random draws to win. This one relies on strategy to win. This is Amazing Bingo, and this is a game of strategy. This is how it plays. Each player starts with one bingo card only. The bingo cards that come with this game are punch-out cards, so you don't need any dabbers or anything to use for that. You keep your cards hidden from all the other players. The players travel around this maze-like game board by the roll of these unique clap dice that also have elements to them that affect your gameplay. The game board includes all 75 bingo numbers, as well as a few other landing pads that offer strategic abilities throughout the game. The number that's landed on is the number that everybody gets to mark off on their bingo card. Almost every roll changes the structure of the maze. The first player to complete the designated pattern wins the game or level. It offers 1, 2, or 3 levels. In the classic game of bingo, if say the pattern was the top line, first one to get it wins. In this game, once you know what your pattern is, you will know the exact numbers you need to get to on the game board. The game board includes pitfalls and the ability to hamper an opponent's play. The rules are very short and sweet. It's easy to learn, but it'll take a lifetime to master. The test plays with this new variation or new edition of the game have been phenomenally overwhelming. I'm finally getting the reactions I've been wanting to get from this game for a long time. It is a family game, it is a kid's game, and it is an adult's game. Games often unfold with the players, no matter the skill level, neck and neck at the end. A successful fundraising tournament has been held with the game, with the previous edition, which proves its abilities that way. A tech company is in talks with us to license the rights to do the digital version of the game, and it has been called the Poker of Bingo due to its poker-style wagering and bluffing, should you want to play it that way. This is not just for bingo players. This is for anyone who loves a great game. It is a universally recognized name combined with a wholly original new way to play it, and it will appeal to a wide range of demographics. And ultimately, it has been built to evolve. I'd like to close my pitch with this second video. Thank you. The new maze that was coming is here. Now, I could tell you that it is easy to learn. I could tell you that it is a game that is enjoyed by all ages. I could tell you all about its constantly changing maze with an infinite number of pathways for you to discover. That it involves multiple forms of strategic thinking, and that you can even play it with timed moves, a more intense experience. I could tell you all that, but what you really want to know is it fun?
Very good. Great presentation. And I'm thinking of all those church basements of where you're going to set up. No, I'm just kidding. So Matt, Mary, I'll let you guys decide who goes first.
Go for it, Mary.
So you said you've been selling this already? Is that what you said? I know you said you improved it.
Yeah, the original edition of the game, I was able to sell it. I sold maybe 500-600 units as well in the original incarnation of the game, first couple of incarnations. But I realized I knew the game was clunky and somewhat flawed. People who bought it, they enjoyed it, but it didn't really create that replayability that it does now. The desire to want to play it again and again, and that's changed now with the new edition. The new edition is literally just come out a few months ago and has been going through a rigorous amount of test plays, and it has been flawless so far.
Are you sitting on inventory, or are you still test playing?
No, I on the old inventory, I have some of that left, but that's not going to be sold anymore. I've already been in discussions with a manufacturer. We've got our price amount to have these manufactured on a minimum run, but we're also talking now with another company in the bingo industry that might be interested, a bingo distributor in the bingo industry who might want to put in a rather large order. So
okay, so your end game is what? To get to toy? You'd like to get this at toy retail, if possible, like Games Isle, Walmart, and Target, and whatnot.
Very much so. We again, like I said, I have a digital company that wants to license the digital version of the game, and ultimately, I would like to pass it on to license it to a major toy company that can go into distribution and stuff. But in the meantime, I'm already setting up my distribution networks, both in the bingo industry, potentially the toy and game industry.
Well, it's very common these days, especially if you self-publish, to get to get picked up if you're having some sort of success rate, because
Exactly.
as soon as they see a trajectory, they get on it. But more often than not, when I see, outsider people get into the toy industry, they make some fundamental issues that prevent them from getting to retail without ever knowing it, such as like cost of goods, what their margins at, the sizing of their packaging, the weight of the goods, how many fit into a container. It's a lot more complex than just like building it the way that you think it should be.
Gotcha.
So in a way, it's good that you haven't gone into production yet, because you might want to contact someone who knows that, whether it be me or someone. There's a lot of people are aware of this sort of stuff, because the last thing you want to do is build a great game, present it to retail, and the buyer just push it right off their desk because it's just like, I don't have space for this. They won't even bother to look at it.
Right. How big is the game? It's hard to tell. Like, what is the size?
The game board is, here's an actual game board of the size. This is the mock-up of it. What we're going to be doing the hard game board into the box. The box would be approximately 9.5 by 9.5 by about 2, maybe 1.5.
I wouldn't do 1.5, it won't stand. But
Okay.
10.5 by 10.5 keeps you within regulation of standard planogram.
Oh, perfect. Okay. 10.5 by
That also
10.5
squeezing
by 2.
that if they were to buy FOB, which is freight on board, to come out of say like China or even domestic, a container would hold 5,004 of those.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for that. Good to know.
Awesome, guys. This is great feedback and great presentation. And
Thank you.
wish you all the best with that. And yeah, and again, if you have follow-up questions, technical questions for these guys, shoot them over.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yes. Great presentation.
Yep. Thanks, Stephen. Okay, our next participant is Doug Massey. He has a product called Floatin' Thang. Doug, how you doing today?
Great. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate this opportunity. And I know we're on a short timeline here, so I'll just do a quick intro and then we can run the video. I've got a device here that really tackles several things, but it also delivers a lot of fun for the family as well as children. I'm glad to say that we've gotten out into the marketplace. This is going to be our third year coming up. And I've gotten feedback from clients. And one of the reasons I really thought this would be a good position for the family and kids is because of safety. We've all seen tragedies and heard about, hopefully we haven't seen too many. It's not good to see someone in a drowning situation. But I've got a device that really helps with that. And it functions more than just a device in the water. It also functions out. So we'll shoot this video for you.
Cool.
Awesome, Carmine.
Well, hopefully this doesn't count against my 2 minutes.
Carmine, are you there?
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I can tell you the product, you never have to inflate it. You don't have to worry about it getting moldy or wet or sappy. It dries in seconds. It's solid foam all the way through. So it's a very advanced type of closed cell foam.
Did you know that an estimated 3,500 non-boating related drownings take place in the U.S. each year? Roughly 10 a day. Unfortunately, many people are still not using flotation devices. And no matter what age you are, anyone can have a water-related accident. That's one of the many reasons why the Floatin' Thang was created. This is a custom-designed, durable, and simple-to-use personal flotation device that provides functions in and out of the water. It's a multi-purpose flotation device, giving the user a unique way to float from an upright position to fully floating on their back. The Floatin' Thang allows for a comfortable, safe way to float and use for low-impact exercises in the water if you're a child, elderly, or have a disability. It acts as a booster seat on a paddleboard with built-in two-way beverage holders, provides instant flotation, and can provide a solution for boaters to deploy in seconds as a temporary boat bumper. It loves the heat and dries in seconds, will never leak, chip, crack, fade, peel, or lose buoyancy. This is made with a revolutionary closed-cell foam technology and soft to the touch. No inflation, and its durable construction is guaranteed to float for years or your money back. Get your thang today at www.floatinthang.com. Save with the twin pack offer. Now let's get floating.
That's good. I'll try to hold it here so you can kind of get a visual of it. We ship this in a 2-pack. It's also sold on Amazon, so they do just singles. Price point's $99. It lasts for years. Folks have come back and bought more because their kids take off with it. They enjoy the product. Best thing of all, I got to tell you, is the response I've gotten from those with disabilities. They're able to get out of their wheelchair, and the individuals with upper body strength can put their arms, kind of fixes in here. You kind of see how everybody floats right here behind me. Even if their legs don't work, they're enjoying floating. So the device comes with, we throw some koozies in there. We want everyone to get floating above the water line. Having a device like this, you can attach a leash. It's flat on the bottom. It has a little concave here, so it doesn't hydroplane off. Paddleboard, I love paddleboarding. So 9 million paddleboarders go out and they don't even have a place to put their beverage or a device they can throw to somebody, including themselves. You know, a vest is okay, but a vest absorbs water, loses buoyancy. And if you're struggling to get it, it's going to be hard to get a vest on if you're already in the water. So this has really been a good go-to for a lot of people. And I'll just close with what we're looking for is to do a really creative, I'd love to do an infomercial, bang, get that out there, share this with the world, and expand our distribution into the marine industry and go from there.
Hey, good job, Doug. You came in right at 4 minutes, even with all the distractions. That's a really good job.
There you go.
I mean, I have a lot of experience in pool and float business. Well, first I want to say, like, I mean, you have a great voice. I mean, I don't know how many more cigarettes or how much more coffee you have to drink to get that kind of a really cool.
Yeah, I've been told that. I missed using it at the expos. They all got canceled. I had COVID. So.
You got to come close to drowning, Matt. Then you can.
I definitely get the purpose of a product like this. I think your execution is good, and I like the fact that you made it multi-purpose. Your costing seems a little high, but I don't know what quantities you're sort of basing it on. I would not do it as a direct response TV item. It's too narrow of a market. It's too seasonal in some parts of the country. It would fail. Not because it's a bad product, just because if you, as Warren can tell you, it's got to hit all marks in all parts of the country. Otherwise, it's gonna sink. For every pun intended there. Yeah, I mean, I think you got a good item. I mean, we'd have to review your cost of goods to really get a better sense of why the pricing's the way that it is. But that would be the biggest hurdle there, because I've always been of the ilk that, you know, if you design something for the rich, you will eat with the poor. If you design something for the poor, you'll eat with the rich. So if you can make it at a price that works for everybody, you're going to move a lot more.
Wow, yeah. I'm going to steal that line.
That is a great line. And speaking of great lines, you've got a lot of great lines on your website, like get your float on, like you've really got some great marketing going on there. And, you know, and there are a lot of like Spin Master, and there's a lot of companies that are doing really well. Oh, what was that? I didn't see, Doug, what you were holding up.
Just saying that's our, get floating and hashtag floating thing. So we have a lot of social media we try to clip to. My background, social media, as well as, just going out in the boat for 45 years and fishing.
Oh, wow.
And around the water, so.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience in boats like Matt does, but your marketing is fantastic. It really is.
Thank you.
So who, Mary, you just mentioned a company or two. Are they in that category, or do you have others that you would recommend? Or?
So Spin Master bought a company called Swimways, and they're doing really well from what I understand in that category. I'm sorry?
That's my manufacturers, actually, is Swimways.
Oh,
this
really?
This is their aquacell technology. Yeah, I decided to go with the best, and that kind of addresses why the price point's a little bit higher, because this is a microbial resistant foam. So I developed something because I had a knee injury, and I needed something that was just not a noodle. And I'm duct taping noodles together. They're not working. So I started developing something that you could float multiple ways. Got this patented, so I've got a two-way beverage holder here. You can float that way, you can float this way. And it's really good for fitness, but I wanted something that wasn't just a vinyl dip sponge, that you get from China and it absorbs water. This is solid, and as of next Tuesday, I got our second patent grant.
So you said Swimways is manufacturing that for you, but they're not doing the distribution? Is that in the
Well,
swimwear package?
because their OEM market just does other people's, stuff, and they don't.
Because we did 140 packages for swimways this year. Now I have to go check with my guys to see if we worked on it.
Yeah. They just got bought out by Spin Master. So
Yes.
The original product was made by a company called SpongeX, and at least it's USA made. They got me started in 2017 with my idea and concept. And I took a few prototypes to Lake Havasu. And the guys that were boating are going, wait a minute, this is a boat bumper? And so on the back of our flyer here, we show how it can be a boat bumper.
Have you shown the Spin Master guys, who owns Swimways, that product yet?
I'd like to say they've seen it.
It's a whole new team there. And I'm like, as Mary would tell, I'm very close with the head of inventor relations for that team. We've been in a band together. That's before.
I'll tell you what, Matt, here's where my dilemma is. I paid to have tooling done 3 years ago, and now they're saying we're not doing any other OEM work. So they want me to just take my tooling and go stick it somewhere, and that's expensive.
Listen, guys,
tooling's light, so you can just carry it like walk right out.
Oh yeah, sure it is.
You guys are going to have
$2,000 to ship it. That's not
Matt's
like-
boat.
I think Warren's trying to tell us we're out of time.
You guys are going to have to continue this conversation offline.
Okay.
Great
Sounds
presentation.
good.
I can't wait for someone to knock you off, and as it happens in America, doesn't understand the essential things, and they get a product that sinks them to the bottom of the pool. That would
That would not work. I want to keep everybody above the water line.
Well, exactly right. But I'm just saying for the knockoffs. But anyway, great job, Doug. Thank you. And again, you can continue this conversation with these guys offline. All right. So we are on to Kelvin Quijada. Kelvin, are you all set to go?
Yep, that's correct.
You got the next 4 minutes, brother. You're on.
Hey guys, I'm Kelvin. I just want to say thank you for having me and letting me pitch. I have a video that's going to play first, and then I want to talk after. Okay. So. Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Kelvin. I'm the creator of Hover Blitz. Hover Blitz is a new, fun, interactive game that's a must-have. Have you ever played with a balloon before? The answer is probably yes, but this time we created a new twist to floating the balloon. Here we go. Hover Blitz is played with challenge cards. Each player picks a card. Now they have to go make that balloon in that hoop. As the air comes out of the Blitz fan and hits the balloon, you can navigate the balloon easily. Relocate card. This card's fun. Grab any hoop and place it anywhere you want. Get creative. Oh, we got a stinker. She knows about the flexible hoops, how they can hold their shape and make it harder for the opponent to score. If the balloon touches the ground, it's the other person's turn. The opponent now gets a turn to play for the win. Person with the most cards wins the game. I'm gonna ask you guys, do you and your kids ever get bored at home? I'm guessing so. Hover Blitz is for you. I'm gonna show you what you didn't see in the video for beginners. So first, I'm gonna pick a challenge card, and then this one says, close your eye and float the balloon. What you saw in that video was expert mode. And also, I want to say you can customize the game and the balloons. So here we go. Just check out the difference.
I hope there's not a card that says get high and do this.
It's so easy, your grandma can do it. So
I hope there's a card that says don't get high and do it.
And you can go on hoverblitz.com, go to the product page, and they're up for sale. I have limited run, so get it while it's here. And yeah, thanks again for letting me pitch, guys. Appreciate it. I'm open to questions.
Cool. Our pleasure. Who wants to go first?
Sure. Have you experimented with other materials other than balloons? Because I think if a major game company brought it into us, the first thing we'd be looking at is to remove the balloons and try something else that's possibly light enough to function. But
Yeah, I've tried different things, like bags, but balloons are just kind of the ones.
that makes sense. We're not completely opposed to balloons. There have been some successful balloon items. Boom Boom balloon, obviously. What's Zuru's balloons? Or I forget the name of them.
Bunch of balloons.
Bunch of balloons.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, the first thing Design Edge would do is we'd probably try to cast a ball out of like cornstarch to see if that would work.
Yeah, I tried some material. Actually, it's not here, but this like foamy stuff. I made like a little ball out of it, and didn't work as well.
Yeah,
like
the balloon might be the optimal way. So just curious if that's what you would, if you try to.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
I said the balloon probably is the optimal way, but I feel like there's, when you get to if you're licensing and you get to mid to smaller companies, if they don't have the support system behind them to really investigate and check that stuff out, they might run away because balloons present choking hazards, which raises the age rating on a game. And in a game like that, I think you want to allow 4-year-olds to play it, and which is weird because the first thing people give a 4-year-old is a balloon. But for some reason, it doesn't seem to pass toy testing. Don't ask. I don't know why.
Okay. Thanks.
Mary, you got some thoughts?
Yeah, what's really hot this year? It's kind of funny, fan-based items. So like Air Fort is a big item. So I don't know if sometimes these type of things trend, right? But have you sold a lot at $29.99? I'm looking on your website.
So I haven't officially launched the site. I had some issues with the main page, the landing page, but the product page is it's up and running. I actually went so like this issue has been happening. So I went door to door to try to sell these things. I was able to sell 2 at $25. So until the website gets fully fixed and I can launch, that's what I'm going to keep doing for now.
Right. Well, you have $39.99 crossed out and down to $29.99. I think people will look at that as $39.99 wasn't a real price. Like it's, that makes it look a bit artificial. Like if you were going to cross out a price, I wouldn't make it like $39.99. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But it's a good website.
Don't have to reduce, don't make it look like it's reduced price. No, you're 100% right. Yeah.
Don't make it look like the furniture business.
Yes. Yes. Don't have a business sale, right? You can buy all these for.
Only a fool would pay full price. Great job, Kelvin. Thank you. Very creative product. So thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we are on to Dimitri Boss. Dimitri is a serial inventor. I've known for a long time. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. So I'll go right into it. I think we'll hold off on the video, see if I can try to do this myself. Hi, guys. My name is Dimitri Boss, and I'm the inventor and entrepreneur behind this fun, an exciting new product called Genie Cone. Now, what Genie Cone is a hair accessory that comes in 2 parts. Basically, what you have is the base cone here that has little tiny teeth, so you can get into it, put it into the hair. This creates the ponytail. Then the unit comes with a second part, which are blank covers that simply slide on and click onto the base cone and allow you to design and customize them with anything that you'd want. I really want you guys to think of these covers as blank canvases for advertising, pretty much anything from Disney characters to sports teams to universities. So what I've done is I've tried to capture the market by creating 3 tiered products. The first one is for girls 5 to 10 years old. And what it is a complete arts and crafts kit that comes with everything that you need to have loads of fun. The pink unit right here is the base cone that goes into the hair, and it comes with 4 blank covers that allows you to customize and to personalize. And we give you in the package as well some markers, and on the back over here, which you can't really see, we give you some stickers that have little designs and little patterns on them. We also give you a plastic trace template, so if you want, you can actually go out and design your own. So that's what we call tier number 1. Tier number 2 are what we call 2-cover fun packs. They look like this, okay? And this one here has what we call cracked marble on it, as well as a gold. So the idea behind these covered packs, which is really cool, is that they're great for branding anything. So for example, if we put the American flag in the middle and decide to go for sports teams, you'd have the Yankees, you'd have the Mets, you'd have the Giants and the Jets, or maybe I should stop that right there.
Yeah.
The Giants,
Yeah.
New York but you get the idea. You'd have all the original characters for, let's say, Disney, and you'd have Frozen, you'd have Pocahontas. Now, this all has a issued design patent. It's already issued, and I also have a trademark. Lastly, what I've done, which is really exciting, is I've created an LED version for crowd participation. It's bled out. The colors are not really good, and you'll be able to see that. And right now I have it set, so it automatically goes into 4 different patterns for people's hairs. Now, these are pairable and syncable. So if you took it into a crowd-like situation for a concert, all of the people that are on stage would have these in their hair, and we'd have it synced to the music. This has a fully issued utility patent with 15 claims of protection, as well as being patent pending in China, Hong Kong, and all of Europe. So I've designed this program, or this product, to try to capture the entire market from 5 years old all the way up. So Carmen, if you want to take that video that just shows me at a trade show where I had a booth, I just laid all these products out. If you can. If not, it's no big deal.
Cool.
I'm gonna get close up to it so you can see. Go ahead, turn around. The color kind of bleeds, so if I get close, you can see that. There you go. That's it. And it'll go back. Perfect. All right. This is the new cone. Color saturation is certainly much better in person, but I wanted to give you guys a view of what it looks like. And it goes through the sequence automatically of changing 4 different patterns, which you can customize any way you want. And it goes into the user's hair. I'm just flipping it over so you can kind of see my fingertips. All right, this is the trade show. This is what my booth looks like.
Yeah, I guess you can say. No, not really related. No.
What show is this?
It's a toy fair in February, right before we got slammed with COVID. They had a trade, they had an Inventors booth, and I went there. It was a great experience. Freezing cold that day, if I remember it correctly, but it was a lot of fun. It was my first experience being in the trade show of that size. It was massive. I've gone to Vegas for a couple of ones, but that trade show at the Jacob Javits Center was like just enormous.
And it's not even the biggest one in the toy industry.
It was actually mind-boggling. Like, you know, when you would look at something, I was like, wow, it's a quarter-mile walk to get to that booth. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's about the 10th of the size of the Nuremberg Toy Fair.
Yes. I've heard that too, and I've heard that's like the granddaddy of them all. So
yeah,
I'm looking to license this product. I think there's a huge opportunity in many different, categories. I think there's just endless opportunities because you really can, with heat transfer, design anything you want to put onto this cover within a matter of hours.
It's cool. Mary, go ahead. You go first.
So I'm curious what the reception was at Toy Fair.
They liked it. I mean, people liked it. My experience has been everyone wants to get behind the product, but nobody wants to be first. They love it. Oh, this would be great. We could do this. We can do that with it. I love the idea of it. I think you can sell millions of them. Come back to me after you sold a 40-foot container of 20,000 units.
So was that the craft part of it or the...
Yes, the craft part of it, I actually have 500 units. They're store ready. I have the molds all done. I have the smaller version. The ones that I showed you, the cracked marble, which are these units here, are already done and available, as well as the arts and crafts kits. This LED version is purely in a sample form, even though I do have the utility patent issued. I haven't really been able to spend the money and time to develop that. So my thought is I'd like to give it to somebody, and if I threw a name out there, it'd be somebody like if I could sell it to somebody like a Scooter Braun, who would be able to put into Ariana Grande's hair.
Braun's father's my dentist, by the way. But
is he really? Well, there you go. And I'll tell you right now, this would be a worldwide exclusive, and I think that I could actually close that deal because
Braun has terrible teeth.
True, but Scooter has great teeth.
Well, listen, when you spend $300 million to buy music out from somebody else, you could probably afford to get some.
I've been hearing about Scooter since he was 12 when he was a total screw up. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to. Matt, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm familiar with this product already, and Dimitri's a great guy. I mean, I'm also happy that he cleaned his bedroom and put on his best shirt for the presentation. But it's a fantastic product, and I mean, you really didn't. He's got some video where I mean, you really could have an entire stadium like Madison Square Garden, and people could have these in their hair, and from a remote from the stage, they can sync every single one of them.
Yeah, I mean, all what would happen is people would come up and they'd have a MAC address on the screen. You take the app and you'd basically download the MAC address. It would sync to it, and then what would happen is it would be a predetermined sequence. So you could either be in conjunction with the dancers on stage, you could be in opposition. You can really set it up to do pretty much anything. International soccer games. You can even have it scroll. For example, if you had this in the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, you could have this thing scroll their emblems and their symbols and their logos up and down. This is pretty much endless what you can do with it.
Yeah, and you could free bonus ecstasy with it. It'd be awesome.
If you did some ecstasy or you took some mushrooms, you would definitely have an experience that
That's what you want your kids, But it's really pretty cool though. But I was thinking that the old hippies, we used to have a butane lighter that we would light at the end of Grateful Dead concerts. But now, next generation.
Well, I actually got the inspiration because my friend sent me a Coldplay concert in which they had similar product as a wrist bracelet.
Yeah.
They were doing it, bouncing back and forth, and I had my aha moment. I was like, because I had already developed the Genie Cone product. So I was like, put it in somebody's hair, perfect. And without exception, the number one person every single time I talk about this is put it in Ariana Grande's hair. And then the second person that comes in as a really close second is Taylor Swift. And it makes me laugh because if you look at those two base camps, they're kind of in opposition with each other because of the whole Scooter Braun buying Taylor Swift's music for $300 million. I could see her wanting to take this and just kind of buying it just to shove it in his face, so to speak.
And then the third person would be Axl Rose, I think.
Well, in his prime, he's a little too old and fat now, but yeah, in his prime.
No, I think that's awesome. Hey, Mary, you wanna wrap us up with your thoughts?
So Matt's already working with you. Is that? I mean, you've already got traction.
I'm working with. I can't get too into detail, but we've been working heavily with a lot of Instagram celebrities.
Well,
and I have just an interest there.
Cool.
Well, you certainly hooked up with the best guy in the industry there. So that was fun.
Who is that?
Who is that? Yeah, can I meet him?
I think this forum is great. I just want to say with my last couple of seconds, I really appreciate it because it's situations like this where you guys actually put together a forum that allows people like us to kind of have a little bit of a dream, so I really want to thank all of you for putting this together and continually doing it. And I'm never was active on Facebook, but now I follow and I go nuts with all of it. And I keep on seeing you guys over and over again.
Well,
so
you know what? It's a great presentation. You were really solid. I might say on the video, it's a pretty, you might, work on that a little bit more. I know it's just from a trade show, but if you could put together something really pretty visually exciting, I think.
I think so. I think a lot of influencers, this whole thing with TikTok is something that I think could very well be interesting.
Oh yeah, TikTok.
Matt's got me covered. He's got it all taken care of.
Matt's on TikTok. Anyway, listen, guys, this is all awesome. Our Kathy, our friend from India, probably got scared to death when I said everybody's a liar in America.
No. He had to drop off.
Well, this is how we're perceived around the world these days. Anyway, but listen, this was a great show. All of you guys were very, very impressive from start to finish and really had your act together. Mary and Matt, you guys want to wrap us up? Your thoughts?
I mean, in a general thought, I think everybody had something here that has warrant and should go forward. I'm impressed, but I also know Kathy curated it a bit, so we didn't get those people with who didn't have a chance. So you should all follow your dream and just continue to move and advance and learn. And you're really just doing things like this and going to trade shows or being part of Mary's event. These are things that will educate you because the toy industry is an industry that's got some parameters, and if you can learn those parameters, you're going to have more success.
Yeah, well put. We have white papers, free white papers on our website by categories for the toy industry. So you might want to check those out. They're under the conference menu item. And I think my best advice to everybody is perseverance is the number one quality you can have to be successful. And Calvin Coolidge has some famous quote about it, but it is, just keep believing in your dream. And I agree with Matt, like all these products definitely have potential. You just have to persevere.
Well, listen, we really thank Mary, you for making special effort to come on, Matt, for all that you do. Two real superstars in the toy industry. Kathy Carrick, thank you, as always, for all the hard work behind the scenes putting this together. It's a ridiculous amount of work, and we appreciate it. And to my buddy Carmine, and down in Clearwater, Florida, thanks so much, Carmine, for the platform and everything that you do as well. So thanks, everybody.
No problem, guys. Thank you so much, everyone,
Thanks.
for the UIA.
Welcome.
Please, thank you. Go on to UIAUSA.org. Make sure you join the UIA. I thank Mary Couzin, Matt Nuccio, and, of course, Warren and Kathy from the UIA for this great
This is my butane lighter,
opportunity.
by the way. This is my butane lighter.
Yes. Yes, back and forth.
Yeah.
Next week on the UIA Workshop Series, we have series workshop number 7, Housewares. Tune in, same bat time, same bat channel. You all take care.